Saied, and it's time. Well, I guess some reading. This is the Kybalion Hermetic Philosophy. My three initiates, Culinary Edition. Well, so the thing is, I'm gonna start at point 5.5. All this stuff right. Yeah. Well, all right. Chapter 5. The mental universe. The universe is mental. The universe is mental, right? The universe is mental, held in the mind of the All, the Kybalion. The All is spirit. But what is spirit? The question. Yeah, like that. Yeah, like that. Yeah. Like, how do I prop it up? Maybe like that. All right, well, this is the Kybalion Hermetic Philosophy, 3 initiates. Chapter 5, the mental universe. The universe is mental, held in the mind of the All. See, because the All is spirit. But what is spirit? This question cannot be answered, for the reason that its definition is practically that of the All, which cannot be explained. Spirit is simply a name that men give to the highest conception of infinite living mind. It means the real essence. It means living mind as much superior to life and mind as you know them, as the latter are superior to mechanical energy and matter. Spirit transcends our understanding, and we use the term merely that we may think or speak of the All. For the purposes of thought and understanding, we are justified in thinking of spirit as infinite living mind, at the same time acknowledging that we cannot fully understand it. We must either do this or we must stop thinking of the matter at all. So, let us now proceed to a consideration of the nature of the universe. My God. Okay. Yes. Janky. Perfect. Thank you, God, Jesus Christ, and everybody. So, let us now proceed to a consideration of the nature of the universe as a whole and in its parts. What is the universe? We have seen that there can be nothing outside of the All. Then there's the universe. Then is the universe the All? No, this cannot be, because the universe seems to be made up of many, and is constantly changing. In other ways, it does not measure up to the ideas that we are compelled to accept regarding the all, as stated in our last lesson. Then, if the universe be not the all, then it must be nothing. Such is the inevitable conclusion of the mind at first thought. But this will not satisfy the question, for we are sensible of the existence of the universe. Um, then, if the universe is neither the all nor nothing, what can it be? Let's examine this question. Um, I have no idea how to see people. Welcome to live chat. It says that, but then okay, yeah, whatever. Anyway, um, yeah. Oh my God, I should have left it. Yes. Then, if the universe be not the all, then it must be nothing. Such is the inevitable conclusion of the mind at first thought. But this will not satisfy the question, for we are sensible of the existence of the universe. Then, if the universe is neither the all nor nothing, what can it be? What can it be? Let's examine this question together. If the universe exists at all, seems to exist, it must proceed in some way from the all. It must be a creation of the all. But as something can never come from nothing, from what could the all have created it? Some philosophers have answered this question by saying that the all created the universe from itself. That is, from the being and substance of the all. But this will not do, for the all cannot be subtracted from nor divided, as we have seen. And then again, if this be so, would not each particle in the universe be aware of its being the all? The all could not lose its knowledge of itself, nor actually become an atom or blind force or lowly living thing. Some men, indeed, realizing that the all is indeed all, and also recognizing that they, the men, existed, have jumped to the conclusion that they and the all were identical, and they have filled the air with shouts of "I am God," and to the amusement of the multitude of and the sorrows of the sages. The claim of the corpuscle that "I am man" would be modest in comparison. But what indeed is the universe, if not be the all, not created by the all, having separated itself into fragments? What else can it be? What else can it be made? Is a great question. Let us examine it carefully. We find here that the principle of correspondence, see lesson 1, as above, so below, comes to our aid here. The old Hermetic axiom, as above, so below, as we all know, as we all know, may be pressed into service at this point. Let us endeavor to get a glimpse of the workings of on higher planes by examining those on our own. The principle of correspondence must apply to this as well as to other problems. Let us see. On his own plane of being, how does man create? Well, first he may create by making something out of outside materials, but this will not do, for there are no materials outside of the all with which it may create. Well, then, secondly, man procreates or reproduces his kind by the process of begetting, which is self-multiplication accomplished by transferring a portion of his substance to his offspring. This will not do, of course, because the all cannot transfer or subtract a portion of itself, nor can it reproduce or multiply itself. In the first place, there would be a taking away, and in the second case, of multiplication or addition to the all. Both thoughts being an absurdity. Absurdity. Is there no third way which man creates? Yet there is. He creates mentally. That's right. That's right, bud. He creates mentally. And in doing so, he uses no outside materials, nor does he reproduce himself. and yet his spirit pervades the mental creation. What? If that's a bot, that's hilarious. And if that's not a bot, oh my god. Um, Move past it. Following the principle of correspondence, we are justified in considering that the all creates the universe mentally in a manner akin to the process whereby man creates mental images. And here's where the report of reason tallies precisely with the report of the Illumine, as shown by their teachings and writings. Such are the teachings of the wise men. Such was the teachings of Hermes. Hermes was a Greek god. Oh yeah, he like some guy didn't exist, right? Oh my god. The all can create in no other way except mentally, without either using material, and there is none to use, or else it reproduces itself, which is also impossible. There is no escape from the conclusion of the reason, which, as we have just said, agrees with the highest teaching of the Illumine. Just as you, student, may create a universe of your own in your own mentality, so does the all creates universes in its own mentality. But your universe is the mental creation of a finite mind, whereas that of the all is the creation of an infinite. The two are similar in kind, but infinitely different in degree. Hold on, let's go back. I'm gonna go back for a second. It says that just as you, student, may create a universe of your own in your own mentality, so does the all create the universes in its own mentality. But your universe is the mental creation of a finite mind, whereas that of the all is the creation of an infinite. The two are similar in kind, but infinitely different in degree. We shall examine them more closely into the process of creation and manifestation as we proceed. But this is the point to fix your minds at this stage. The universe and all it contains is a mental creation of the all. Verily, indeed, all is mind. The Kybalion says, the all creates in its infinite mind countless universes which exist for eons of time, and yet, to the all, the creation, development, decline, and death of a million universes is as the time of the twinkling of an eye. The Kybalion. Wait, what? The all creates its infinite mind countless universes which exist for eons of time, and yet, to the all, the creation, development, decline, and death of a million universes is as the time of a twinkling of an eye. Wow. Infinite mind of the all is the womb of the universes. Big volume. The principle of gender, this is lesson 1 and other lessons to follow, is manifested on all planes of life, material, mental, and spiritual. But as we have said before, gender does not mean sex, obviously. Sex is merely a material manifestation of gender. Gender means relating to generation or creation. And whenever anything is generated or created on any plane, the principle of gender must be manifested. And this is true even in the creation of universes. Now, do not jump to the conclusion that we are teaching that there is a male and female God or creator. The idea is merely a distortion. That idea is merely a distortion of the ancient teachings on the subject. Seriously. Oh my god. Like, who, who actually thinks that there's a sky daddy? I don't know. Anyway, That idea is merely a distortion of the ancient teachings of the subject. My God. The true teaching is that the all, in itself, is above gender, as it is above every other law, including those of time and space. It is the law from which the laws proceed, and is not subject to them. But then the all manifests on the plane of generation or creation, then it acts according to law and principle. For it is moving on a lower plane of being, and consequently it manifests in the principle of gender, its masculine and feminine aspects on the mental plane, of course. This idea might seem startling to some of you who hear it for the first time, but you have all really passively accepted it in your everyday conceptions. You speak of the fatherhood of God and the motherhood of nature, of God, of divine Father, the nature, the universal mother, and have thus instinctively acknowledged the principle of gender in the universe. Is that not so? But the Hermetic teaching does not imply a real duality. The all is one. The all is one. All is one. The two aspects are merely aspects. Yeah, I don't know if this is real, so I screenshot that. That's crazy. But the Hermetic teaching does not imply a real duality. The all is one. The two aspects are merely aspects of manifestation. The teaching is that the masculine principle manifested by the all stands in a way apart from the actual mental creation of the universe. It projects its will toward the feminine principle, which may be called nature, whereupon the latter begins an actual work of the evolution of the universe. Hold on. Hermetic teaching does not imply real duality, yeah. Because the two aspects are merely aspects of manifestation, two poles of the same thing. I mean, bipolar, like, oh my God. Um, the teaching, or the all is one. The two aspects are merely aspects of manifestation. So, the teaching is that the masculine principle, manifested by the all, stands in a way apart from the actual mental creation of the universe. It projects its will. It projects its will toward the feminine principle, which may be called nature, whereupon the latter begins the actual work of the evolution of the universe, from simple centers of activity onto man, and then on and on, still higher, still all according to well-established and firmly enforced laws of nature. If you prefer the old figures of thought, you may think of the masculine principle as God, the Father, and of the feminine principle as nature, the universal mother, from whose womb all things have been born. This is more than mere poetic figure of speech. It is the idea that of the actual process of creation of the universe. But always remember that the all is but one, and that in its infinite mind, the universe is generated, created, and exists. Two more pages in this chapter. It may help you to get a proper idea if you apply the law of correspondence to yourself and your own mind. You know that the part of you which you call I, in a sense, stands apart and witnesses the creation of mental images in your own mind. The part of your mind in which the mental generation is accomplished may be called the me in distinction from the I, in which stands apart and witnesses and examines the thoughts, ideas, and images of the me. As above, so below. Remember, and the phenomena of one plane may be employed to solve riddles of higher or lower planes. Yes, everything has to do with everything. Thank you, Wilfred. Is it any wonder that you, the child, feel that instinctive reverence for the all, the feeling that we call religion? Feeling that we call religion, that respect and reverence for the Father mind? Is it any wonder that when you consider the works and wonders of nature, you are overcome with a mighty feeling that which has its roots away down in your inmost being? It is the mother mind that you are pressing close up to, like a babe to the breast. Do not make the mistake of supposing that the little world you see around you, the earth, which is merely a grain of dust in the universe, is the universe itself. There are millions upon millions of such worlds, and greater. There are millions upon millions of such universes in existence within the universe mind, within the infinite mind of the all. And even in our own little solar system, there are regions and planes of life far higher than ours, and beings compared to which we are earthbound mortals are the slimy life forms that dwell on the ocean's bed when compared to man. There are beings with which there are beings with powers and attributes higher than man has ever dreamed the gods possessing. And yet these beings were once as you, and still lower. You will be even as they, and still higher in time, for such is the destiny of man, as reported by the Illumined. And death is not real, even in the relative sense. It is but birth to a new life, and you shall go on and on and on to higher and higher planes of life, for eons upon eons upon eons of time. The universe is your home, and you shall explore its farthest recesses before the end of time. You are dwelling in the infinite mind of the all, and your possibilities and opportunities are infinite within time and space. And at the end of the grand cycle of eons, where the all shall draw back into itself all of creation, you will go gladly, for you will be able to know the whole truth of being at one with the all. Such is the report of the Illumined, those who have advanced well along the path. And in the meantime, rest calm and serene. You are safe and protected by the infinite power of the Father, Mother, Mind. Within the Father, Mother, Mind, mortal children are at home. There is not one who is fatherless, nor motherless in the universe. The Kybalion. Now, the only people who commented are probably bots. And I'm actually just going to... Oh, shit. I'm going to be doing this regardless of whether it's on YouTube live or not. So, it's more of an incentive to read. Now we get to the nitty gritty. Anyway, so oh yeah. Don't forget your diet, Dr. Bob. This guy. Nah, it's 4:38. This man, there's a good young man here. is what you call a good young man. We love him. Please. Messy free. Awesome. Awesome. Anyway, oh, there's people watching. Okay, so I'll read chapter 6 of the Kybalion Hermetic Philosophy. Now, I know I'm starting in the middle of the book, but like, it's not my fault you haven't read this. I mean, you've had how many years to read this? My God, guys. So as it turns out, as it freaking turns out. Wait, what? Okay. Well, okay, fine, then I'll start reading. Divine Paradox. The half-wise, recognizing the comparative unreality of the universe, imagine that they may defy its laws. Such are vain and presumptuous fools, and they are broken against the rocks and torn asunder by the elements by reason of their folly. The truly wise, knowing the nature of the universe, use law against laws, the higher against the lower, and the art of alchemy transmute that which is undesirable into that which is worthy, and thus triumph. Mastery consists not in abnormal dreams, visions, and fantastic imaginings or livings, but in using the higher forces against the lower, escaping the pains of the lower planes by vibrating on the higher. Transmutation, not presumptuous denial, is the weapon of the matter, the Kybalion. So, this is the paradox of the universe, resulting from the principle of polarity, which manifests when the all begins to create. Hearken to it, for it points to the difference between half wisdom and wisdom. While to the infinite all, the universe, its laws, its powers, its life, its phenomena, are as things witnessed in the state of meditation or dream. Yet to all that is finite, the universe must be treated as real, and life and action and thought must be based thereupon accordingly, although with an ever understanding of the higher truth, each according to its own plans and laws, of course. Were the all to imagine that the universe were really indeed reality, then woe to the universe, for there would be then no escape from lower to higher divineward. Then would the universe become a fixity, and progress would become impossible. And if man, owing to half wisdom, acts and lives and thinks of the universe as merely a dream, akin to his own finite dreams, then indeed does it so become for him, and like a sleepwalker he stumbles ever around and around in a circle, making no progress and being forced into awakening at last by his falling, bruised, bleeding over the natural laws which he ignored. Keep your mind on the star, but let your eyes watch your footsteps, lest you fall into the mire the reason of your upward gaze. To remember the divine paradox, that while the universe is not, it still it is. Remember the two poles of truth, the absolute and the relative. Beware of half-truths. Let's see. Mad scientist. I mean, these are obviously AI shit. Oh, well, this is boring. That's so fucking funny. That's so fucking funny. Cause like who tunes into like a niche YouTuber and then says, "Oh, well, this is boring." like what? It's crazy. Definitely bots, but it's 2026. So, anyway, what Hermetists, Hermetists know as the law of paradox is an aspect of the principle of polarity. The Hermetic writings are filled with references to the appearance of the paradox and the consideration of the problems of life and being. The teachers are constantly warning their students against the errors of omitting the other side of any question. And their warnings are particularly directed to the problems of the absolute and the relative, which perplex all students of philosophy and which cause so many to think and act contrary to what is generally known as common sense. And we caution all students to be sure to grasp the divine paradox of the absolute and relative, lest they become entangled in the mire of the half-truth. With this in view, a particular lesson has been written. Read it carefully. Carefully. You may be gay. Probably are. It's never a bad time to say, shit, maybe I'm gay. Really never, I mean, really never a bad time. But regardless, this is the Kybalion. This is the Kybalion. So, you ready? I hope you're a real person, messenger, and you're not AI, because you're fucking hilarious. So anyway, he says, beware of half truths. Yes, that's where we were, right? Yes. Absolute and relative. Beware of half truths. What Hermetists know as the law of paradox is an aspect of. No, we got there. The teachers are constantly warning their students against the error of omitting the other side of any question. And turns out, you know, I would. Okay, hold on. Now, I think we should be allowed to, like, drink, like, a little bit of lava. I mean, come on. It's like, I'm looking at this. You're looking at this. This is like beyond flowy. I mean, magical, warm. Like, why can I not drink this? Like, why? What is this divine torture? This is the divine paradox. The fact that I actually can't drink this lava lamp. So, now, okay. Screenshot that for my ego. So, and their warnings are particularly directed to the problems of the absolute and the relative, which perplex all students of philosophy and which cause so many to think and act contrary to what is generally known as common sense. And we caution all students to be sure to grasp the divine paradox of the absolute and relative, lest they become entangled in the mire of the half-truth. With this in view, a particular lesson has been written. Read it carefully. The first thought that comes to the thinking man after he realizes the truth that the universe is a mental creation of the all is that the universe and all that it contains is a mere illusion, an unreality, against which idea his instincts revolt. But this, like all other great truths, must be considered both from the absolute and relative points of view. From the absolute viewpoint, of course, the universe is in the nature of an illusion, a dream, a phantasmagoria, as compared to the all itself. So we recognize this even in our ordinary view. For we speak of the world as a fleeting show. Hey, hey, hey. Yes, okay. Yes. First thought, but this, like all other great truths, must be considered both from the absolute and the relative points of view. From the absolute viewpoint, of course, the universe is in the nature of an illusion, a dream, phantasmagoria, as compared to the all itself. We recognize this is even in our ordinary view, for we speak of the world as a fleeting show that comes and goes, is born and dies for the element of impermanence and change, finiteness and finite, wow, finiteness and unstanchability. This is harder than it looks. Um, for the element of impermanence and change, finiteness and unsubstantiality must ever be connected with the idea of a created universe when it's contrasted with the idea of the all, no matter what may be our beliefs concerning the nature of both. So, philosopher, metaphysician, metaphysician, scientist, and theologian all agree this idea. And thought is found in all forms of philosophical thought and religious conceptions, as well as in the theories of respective schools of metaphysics and theology. So the Hermetic teachings do not preach the unsubstantiality of the universe in any stronger terms than those more familiar to you, although their presentation of the subject may somewhat seem more startling. You know, anything that has a beginning and an ending must be, in a sense, unreal and untrue. And the universe comes under the rule and all schools of thought. From the absolute point of view, there is nothing real. Except the all, no matter what terms we may use in thinking of or discussing a subject. Whether the universe be created of matter or whether it be a mental creation in the mind of the all, it is unsubstantial, non enduring, a thing of time, space, and change. We want you to realize this fact thoroughly before we pass judgment on the Hermetic conception of the mental nature of the universe. So think over, think over any and all of the other conceptions and see whether this be not true of them. But the absolute point of view shows merely one side of the picture. For those just catching up, we're reading the Kybalion Hermetic Philosophy. Read. Um, so, philosopher, metaphysician, scientist, and theologian all agree upon this idea, and the thought is found in all forms of philosophical thought and religious conceptions, as well as in theories of respective schools of metaphysics and theology. So, the Hermetic teachings do not preach the unsubstantiality of the universe in any stronger terms than those more familiar to you, although their presentation of the subject may seem somewhat startling. And I've probably read this. Anything that has a beginning has an ending, must be, in a sense, unreal and untrue. And the universe comes under the rule, and in all schools of thought, from the absolute point of view, there is nothing real except the all, no matter what terms we may use in thinking of or discussing the subject, which whether the universe be created of matter or whether it be a mental creation in the mind, um, from the absolute point of view, there is nothing real except the all, no matter what terms we may use in thinking of or discussing the subject. Whether the universe be created of matter, whether it be a mental creation of the mind of the all, is unsubstantial, non enduring, a thing of time, space, and change. We want you to realize this fact thoroughly before you pass judgment on the Hermetic conception of the mental nature of the universe. Think over any and all of the other conceptions and see whether this may not be true of them. So, but the absolute point of view, but the absolute point of view, let's see. Yeah. But the absolute point of view shows merely one side of the picture. The other side is the relative one. Absolute truth has been defined as things as the mind of God knows them, while relative truth is things as the highest reason of man understands them. And so, while to the all, the universe must be unreal and illusionary, a mere dream or result of meditation, nevertheless, to the finite minds forming a part of the universe and viewing it through mortal faculties, the universe is very real indeed and must be so considered. In recognizing the absolute view, we must not make the mistake of ignoring or denying the facts and phenomena of the universe as they present themselves to our mortal faculties. We are not the all, remember. To take familiar illustrations, we all recognize the fact that matter exists to our senses. We will fare badly if we do not. And yet, even if our finite minds understand, oh no. Oh, crap. Okay. One sec. Yes. Yes, divine paradox. Yes, I understand. Yeah. Okay. Wait, did it already read that? That's right there. Okay. Yeah. Wait, what was that? Duh. Well, I think. How do I drink the lava now? Because now I'm definitely gonna need to drink lava. I mean, multiple people are saying it. My God. 52. Okay. Like that. Go like that. Bam. Bada bing. No. Alright. Fuck it. Get on for. Closing up to our 27-inch lava lamp. This guy. We got the Kybalion unlock. Hermetic Philosophy. They say it's Hermetic Philosophy. It's Hermes Trismegistus, the ancient Greek god Hermes. Oh, it turns out he was actually a real person and did a lot of things. Thoth, ancient Egypt, same person. Well, here's some of his things. So, oh, my throat's dry. Oh, regardless. So, to take familiar illustrations, we all recognize facts that matter exists to our senses. We'll fare badly if we do not, and yet even our finite minds do not understand the scientific dictum that there is no such thing as matter from a scientific point of view. That which we call matter is held to be merely an aggregation of atoms, which atoms themselves are merely a grouping of units of force called electrons or ions. Electrons are ions, vibrating and in constant circular motion. We kick a stone and we feel the impact. It seems to be real, notwithstanding that we know it to be merely the wave stood above. But remember that our foot, which feels the impact by means of our brains, is likewise matter, so constituted of electrons, and for that matter are so our brains. And at the best, if it were not by reason of our mind, we would not know the foot or stone at all. Then again, the idea of the artist or sculptor which he is endeavoring to reproduce in stone or on canvas seems very real to him. So do characters in the mind of the author or dramatist, which he seeks to express so that others may recognize them? So, if this is to be true in the case of our finite minds, what must be the degree of reality in the mental images created in the mind of the infinite? My God, there is not a good lighting for this. Then again, well, then again, the idea of the artist or sculptor, which he is endeavoring to reproduce in stone or on canvas, seems very real to him. So do the characters in the mind of the author or dramatist, which he seeks to express so that others may recognize them. And if this may be the case of our finite minds, what must be the degree of reality in the mental images created in the mind of the infinite? Oh, friends, to mortals, this universe of mentality is very real indeed. It is the only one we can ever know. Though we rise from plane higher and higher in it. To know, yeah, otherwise by actual experience, we must be the all itself. It is true that the higher we rise in the scale, the nearer to the mind of the Father we reach, the more apparent becomes the illusory nature of finite things, but not until the all finally withdraws into itself does the actual vision actually vanish. as you see, they are very very serious with their capital letters. Very serious. Regardless, so we not need not dwell upon the feature of illusion, Michael. Rather, let us, recognizing the real nature of the universe, seek to understand its mental laws. So, we need not dwell upon the feature of illusion. Rather, let us recognize, recognizing the real nature of the universe, seek to understand its mental laws, and endeavor to use them to the best effect in our upward progress through life. As we travel from plane to plane of being, the laws of the universe are none the less iron laws because of the mental nature. All except the all are bound by them. What is in the infinite mind of the all is real in a degree only to that reality only to that reality itself, which is vested in the nature of the all. Hmm? All except it says all except the all are bound by them. What is in the infinite mind of the all is real in a degree second only to that reality itself, which is vested in the nature of the all. So do not feel insecure or afraid. We're all held firmly in the infinite mind of the all, and there is naught to hurt us or for us to fear. There's no power outside the all to affect us. So we may rest calm and secure. So there's a world of comfort and security. And its realization once attained. So thank you for having comfort and security. That's for me, Saied. Um, I to answer William's question, I have taken LSD between 15 and 25 times. I'm 31. I took it between when I was 18 to I guess last year. and, and William Roeder, if you were listening, I guess you would hear that. But yeah, I've taken my fair share of LSD. Shrooms bodying my stomach too much. I'm gonna not do those, but acid, it was fun times. Good times. So, we need not dwell upon the future of illusion. Rather, let us, recognizing the real nature of the universe, seek to understand its mental laws and endeavor to use them to the best effect in our upward progress through life as we travel from plane to plane of being. The laws of the universe are nonetheless iron laws because of the mental nature. All except that all are bound by them. What is in the infinite mind of the all is real in a degree second only to that reality itself, which is vested in the nature of the all. So, man has been clean, you can tell. Good job. I don't know what that means. Um, so do not feel insecure or afraid. We're all held. Oh, because that Danny Boy Ludwig, clean. I mean, my house is spick and span. It is very clean. But as far as like clean, like drugs, like I'm what? I have a medical marijuana card. It's my medication, please. Please. Oh my god, it's my medication. Um, so do not feel insecure or afraid. We're all held firmly in the infinite mind of the all, and there is not us or for us to fear. For there is no power outside of the all to affect us. So we may rest calm and secure. There is a world of comfort and security in this realization when once attained. Then calm and peaceful do we sleep, rocked in the cradle of the deep, resting safely on the bosom of the ocean of infinite mind, which is the all. In the all, indeed, do we live and move and have our being. Um, Clean off LSD. Yeah. Um, I I want to say, oh, you can't get hooked on LSD, but I actually do know a friend of a friend who, unironically, like takes acid like every weekend. Like, and if he doesn't, like, he's like upset about it. Like, what? No, no, no. But yes, uh, fun fact: when I was 19 in 2013, I this is for YouTube and this is for you, the cosmos. This is for history, everybody. I took 6 tabs of acid and took those 6 tabs of acid and put them under my tongue, and then took 4 tabs of acid, shoved them up my ass. It was acid, and therefore I took 10 tabs and I tripped balls, and I thought I saw God that day, but just kidding. I just saw lines that connected everyone together, like I don't know, freaking charts, squares, like how I knew everybody. Connected Venn diagrams, not Venn diagrams, diagrams nonetheless. Speaking of less, matter is none the less matter to us. While we dwell on the plane of matter, although we know it to be merely an aggregation of electrons or particles of force vibrating rapidly and gyrating around each other in formations of atoms, the atoms in turn vibrating and gyrating form molecules, which latter in turn form larger masses of matter. Nor does matter become less matter when we follow the inquiry still further and learn from the Hermetic teachings that the force of which the electrons are but units is merely a manifestation of the all, of the mind of the all. And like all else, universe is purely mental in its nature. While on the plane of matter, we must recognize this phenomenon. We may control matter as all masters of higher or lesser degree do, but where are we? But we do so by applying the higher forces. So we commit a folly when we attempt to deny the existence of matter in the relative aspect. We may deny its mastery over us, and rightly so. We should not attempt to ignore it in its relative aspect, at least so long as we dwell upon its plane. Nor do the laws of nature become less constant or effective when we know them. Likewise, to be merely mental creations, they are in full effect on various planes. We overcome the lower laws by applying still higher ones, and in this way only. But we cannot escape law or rise above it entirely. Hey, Danny Boy Ludwig, you should definitely uh message me, or why does YouTube not have a message? So stupid. I'm actually just gonna screenshot your, like, I screenshotted your guys' names because I would like to reach out to you, Messenger 393 and Danny Boy Ludwig, and just say what's up. Because we're all the same guy. We're all these people. We're all just alive. So, as I was saying, nor do the laws of nature become less constant or effective when we know them likewise. I'm sorry. Matter is nonetheless matter to us. Mother ever. Should I like get a permanent like fixture? Like people like a solid um microphone or like a solid this is where I'm filming from, or is it cool that it's like everywhere? Alright, well. Matter is none the less matter to us. When we dwell on the matter plane of matter, although we know it to be merely an aggregation of electrons or particles of force vibrating around each other in the formation of atoms. Atoms in turn vibrating and gyrating, forming molecules which latter form larger masses of matter. Now, nor does matter become less matter when we follow inquiry when we follow the inquiry still further and learn from the repetitions that the force of which electrons are but units is merely a manifestation of the mind of the all, and like all else in the universe is purely mental in its nature. While on the plane of matter, we must recognize this phenomena. We may control matter, as all masters of higher or lesser degrees do, but we do so by applying the higher forces. We commit a folly when we attempt to deny the existence of matter in the relative aspect. We may deny its mastery over us, and really so. But we should not attempt to ignore it in its relative aspect, at least so long as we dwell upon its plane. Nor do the laws of nature become less constant or effective when we know them likewise to be merely mental creations. Effect on the various planes. We overcome the lower laws by applying still higher ones, and in this way only, we cannot escape the law or rise above it entirely. Nothing but the all can escape the law, and that because the all is law itself, from which all laws emerge. The most advanced masters may acquire the powers usually attributed to the gods of men, and their countless rank of being, and the great hierarchy of life whose being and power transcends even that of the highest masters among men to the degree of the unthinkable by mortals. But even the highest master and the highest being must bow to the law and be as nothing in the eye of the all. So if that even these highest beings whose powers exceed even those attributed by men to their gods, even if they are bound by and are subservient to law, then imagine the presumption of mortal man of our race and grade when he dares to consider the laws of nature as unreal, visionary, and illusory, because he happens to be able to grasp the truth that the laws are mental in nature. The laws are mental in nature, simply mental creations of the all. Like, oh my, those laws which the all intends to be governing are not to be defined or argued away. So long as the universe endures, will they endure? For the universe exists by virtue of these laws, which form its framework and which hold it together. I'm reading. Oh, I'm reading. Yeah. You know what? I'm actually. Should I like? Yeah, man. I can't believe I've rambled for an hour without even like editing the description and saying, "This is the Kybalion Hermetic Philosophy, 3 Initiates, Centenary Edition." So the thing is, in ancient Egypt, there was the Greek In ancient Egypt, there's the god Thoth, or Thoth, Thoth, and he had many things that he was saying as a prophet, poet, everything, whatever. And so then there's also Hermes Trismegistus. That is, they say, it's multiple people put together, but it's just multiple reincarnations of the body of Thoth or Hermes. It turns out the god Hermes was literally a person. So, what I'm reading. No. Now, where did we get to? Who's that? The Hermetic principle of mentalism. While explaining the true nature of the universe upon the principle that all is mental. Yeah. The Hermetic principle of mentalism, while explaining the true nature of mentalism, the true nature of the universe upon the principle that all is mental, does not change the scientific conceptions of the universe, life, or evolution. In fact, science merely corroborates the Hermetic teachings. The latter merely teaches that the nature of the universe is mental, while modern science has taught that it is material, or, of late, that it is energy. Energy, at the last analysis. The Hermetic teachings have no fault to find with Herbert Spencer's basic principle, which postulates the existence of an infinite and eternal energy from which all things proceed. In fact, wait, Herbert Spencer? Interesting. Um, in fact, the Hermetics recognize in Spencer's philosophy the highest outside statement of the workings of the natural laws that have ever been promulgated. And they believe Spencer to have been a reincarnation of an ancient philosopher who dwelt in ancient Egypt 1,000 years ago and who incarnated as Heraclitus, the Grecian philosopher who lived BC 500. Wow, what? And they regarded his statement of the infinite and eternal energy, as directly in the line of the Hermetic teachings, always with the addition of their own doctrine that his energy is the energy of the mind of the all. With the master key of Hermetic philosophy, the student of Spencer will be able to unlock many doors of the inner philosophical conceptions of the great English philosopher, whose work shows the results of the preparation of his previous incarnations. His teachings regarding evolution and rhythm are almost in perfect agreement with the Hermetic teachings regarding the principle of rhythm. Oh. Now, he did mention an artist. He mentioned a poet. Who's the poet? No, this is George Herbert's, not Herbert Spencer. Why do I feel like I heard of Herbert Spencer before? I'm probably because I was hanging out in the same Hermetic circle. Hermit River. Continuing the Kybalion. Yes. Okay. So, the student of hermeneutics need not lay aside any of his cherished scientific views regarding the universe. All he is asked to do is to grasp the underlying principle of the all is the mind. The universe is mental, held in the mind of the all. He will find that the other. My God, hold on. Because you got me on here looking crazy. And it's like if I tune into how I look on the camera, then, my God. But it's an obvious thing of life to just react when someone points a camera at you. But, man, if you're going to do something different on camera, why don't you just do that when no one is watching? And so that's why I'm doing this. Because, well, I mean, I would have wanted to be doing this anyway. Oh, I wanted to do this anyway. And now, this is helping me stay on track. So, the student of hermeneutics need not lay aside any of his cherished scientific views regarding the universe. All he is asked to do is grasp the underlying principle of the all is mind, the universe is mental, held in the mind of the all. He will find that the other of the six of the seven principles will fit into his scientific knowledge and will serve to bring his obscure points and to throw light in dark corners. This is not to be wondered at when you realize the influence of the Hermetic thought on the early philosophers of Greece, upon whose foundation of thought the theories of modern science largely rest. The acceptance of the first Hermetic principle, mentalism, is the only great point of difference. Yes. Yes, like that. Yes. People don't like that look, but fuck it. I mean, what? It's how I look. I guess. I'm not too fond of it either, but. So, I was saying, the acceptance of the first Hermetic principle, mentalism, is the only great point of difference between modern science and Hermetic students. And science is gradually moving toward the Hermetic position and is groping in the dark for a way out of the labyrinth into which it has wandered. It's wandered in its search for reality. So the purpose of this lesson, everyone, is to impress upon the minds of our students the fact that, to all intents and purposes, the universe and its laws and its phenomena are just as real, so far as man is concerned, as they would be under the hypotheses of materialism or energism. Under any hypothesis, the universe in its outer aspect is changing, ever flowing, and transitory, and therefore devoid of substantiality and reality. But, note the pole of the truth, under any of the same hypotheses, we are compelled to act and live as if the fleeting things were real and substantial. With this difference always between the various hypotheses, that under the old views, mental power was ignored as a natural force, while under mentalism it becomes the greatest natural force. And this one difference revolutionizes life to those who understand the principle and its resulting laws and practice. Wait, hold on. But under any of the same hypotheses, we are compelled to act and live as if the fleeting things were real and substantial. Yes, of course, yeah. If we didn't feel a sense of permanence towards our actions, you see, we feel our time was wasted at point A or any spot prior to point B. That's A. I love quoting myself from my 2017 Subtleties EP. Regardless, talking on slant. With this difference always between the various hypotheses is that under the old views, mental power was ignored as a natural force, while under mentalism it becomes a natural force. And this one difference revolutionizes life, those who understand the principle and its resulting laws and practice. So finally, students all grasp the advantage of mentalism and learn to know, use, and apply the laws resulting therefrom, but do not yield to the temptation at which, as the Kybalion states, overcomes the half-wise and which causes them to be hypnotized by the apparent unreality of things. The consequence being that they wonder about like people, dream people dwelling in the world of dreams, ignoring the practical work and life of man. The end being that they are broken against the rocks and torn asunder by the elements by reason of their folly. Rather, follow the example of the wise, which the same authority states use law against laws, the higher against the lower, and by the art of alchemy transmute that which is undesirable into that which is worthy and thus triumph. Follow the authority. Let us avoid the half wisdom, which is folly, which ignores the truth that mastery consists not in abnormal dreams, visions, and fantastic imaginings or living, but in using the higher forces against the lower, escaping the pains of the lower planes by vibrating on the higher. Incredible. Remember always, student, that transmutation, not presumptuous denial, is the weapon of the master. The above quotations are from the Kybalion and are worthy of being committed to memory by the student. We do not live in a world of dreams, but in an universe which, while relative, is real as so far as our lives and actions are concerned. Our business is in the universe. Our business in the universe is not to deny its existence, but to live, using laws to rise from lower to higher, living on, doing the best that we can under the circumstances arising each day, and living so far as is possible to our highest ideas and ideals. The true meaning of life is not known to men on this plane, if we need to any, but the highest authorities and our own intuitions teach us that we will make no mistake in living up to the best that is in us, as far as possible, and realizing the universal tendency in the same direction, in spite of apparent evidences to the contrary. We are all on the path, and the road leads upward ever, with frequent resting places. Read the message of the Kybalion and follow the example of the wise, avoiding the sake of the half-wise, who perish by reason of their folly. You know, like, but people are here, so you guys want to hear, I guess. Okay. I will then read for you. Sure. Hey, if there's people who can hear me and who are actually like watching and tuning in or something, can you tell me how to make the, what is it called? Fucking thumbnail for the, how do you make the thumbnail for the video what I want? If anyone knows how to do that, if you could post the instructions below. I am a little slow. Grabbing a drink. Resume. Oh, shoot. My gosh. We'll resume the Kybalion shortly. I'm just grabbing a drink for like, I say 30 seconds, but it's actually closer to 3.5 minutes. Well, guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Oh, it's actually, I know it's, whatever time it is for you losers, but, here in Freemansburg, Pennsylvania, I want to say it's slop o'clock. You know what slop o'clock is? About 5:30. For these kids. Actually, it's these cats. These kitty cats. I swear, they're like, I can't explain. It's like little tiny kitty cats like everywhere. I'm not really sure actually what's going on, but I'm pretty sure there's like actual kitty cats. Because you guys see this. Please close your mind. Today we have Fancy Feast, a classic buffet, and I'm willing to bet that there's a very, very nice man that is going to come in any moment. And ask for his due. Oh, yes, okay. YouTube, you'll like this. Get a load of this guy. You guys know this guy? Oh, you know this guy? Oh, hello. What an excellent guy. What a good man. Oh, my hands are right. Hold on, buddy. What an excellent man. Get a load of this guy. Oh, yeah? Yeah? You really think so? Oh, that's nice. That's really nice. Yeah. Oh, you're so fluffy. Okay, you're so fluffy. But the thing is, this is torment for you. Because you really just want your treats. So someone left through like, I came here for Hermetic Philosophy, guys. Just for these fucking cats. Okay. So, well, I mean, like, Hermetic Philosophy says you gotta toe the line, bud. You gotta sometimes feed your cats, sometimes return to hide holes. Me, I'm everywhere from running scared to something. You know? Yeah. He's such a nice guy. Oh God, you guys gotta see this guy. Like, I get a load of this guy. Oh, you're so nice. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Now no one's watching because there's a fluffy, nice kitty cat. Give me a break. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, I know. I'm getting to it. Okay, I'm getting to it. But okay. Yeah. Got it. Okay. Okay. If you want this is your slap. Slap time. Oh, you're so nice. Yes. I slap time. You love slap. The villain says virgin. What? Virgin. Oh wait, no, that's not me. I want to like this comment. I'm gonna pin the message. Anyway, kitty cats are enjoying the feast. Wednesday needs to enjoy the feast. Came here for hermetic philosophy, stayed here for fucking cat food, apparently. Right? I mean, fuck it, right? Like shit, I came here to literally like learn about philosophy, and here I am. I'm down here. It's the sun hasn't risen, and I'm feeding cats and ranting with a bipolar American millennial, just for funsies, I guess. Shit. Actually, you know what? That actually sounds like a pretty good time. Count me in. If I don't show up, count me there. Alex, that's your slot. You are, yeah, Wednesday's gonna need hers as well. The villain, you're fucking hilarious. Okay. Well, that settles that. Everybody. Oh my god. My cats. Sarah's taking so long. They are good dudes, though. You do have to acknowledge that this is a very good man. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. This is one of the greatest men I know. He, homeboy is he. He's a special guy. He is just slopping. He's slopping. He's stopping. He's hopping. Rap, schmap, dap, fap. Word, bird, jerd. Anyone see Scary Movie 3? Sorry, Onyx. You fucker. Yeah. Pour some coffee out. Never too late to pour some coffee out. Who knows how to do anything anymore? My God. Like, you ever just look at like a system of things that are set up by people and like, you're like, this obviously is going to fall and crash into tons of tiny little pieces. Like, I don't want to be there when it falls. And I'm not gonna laugh at the people when it falls. So, I don't want to be involved in your silly businesses and such. Because, my God, we have things to do. Don't we have things to do? It's like, we have important things to do. Like, we have kids to take care of. We got lives to lead. And people are worried about hating. My God. Oh, fuck. You can tell I never made coffee before, right? actually every morning before I go to school, my mom would make us, well, not make us, we would make my mom coffee um, as a penance for, as a thank you for her driving us to the bus stop and waking up. So we'd make her coffee, she'd wake up, she'd have the coffee, her two twins would say, oh, hello, it's time to go. And I'm sure, like, I was a fucking nightmare. Oh my god, I'm sure it was a nightmare. Like, regular people are like nightmares. But me? So, I don't know who's here for what, but I will be reading Hermetic Philosophy in about 5 minutes. I'm just making coffee because my throat is hella dry. And I want some water. Said hi. Who's I add ADDIRITH and everything. Yeah. Who's the guy? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Get a load of this guy. Get a load. My God, we get it. For where you're struggling. Back in my day, coffee machines didn't make these sounds. Something ain't right with that coffee machine. Something ain't right. Okay, we got two people waiting. I will be. Now I said 5 minutes before. Now I'll say like 2.5 minutes now. My time is cut in half. Or is it a limit? And I will never actually reach me reading Hermetic Philosophy again. Who knows? World may know. World may never know. But as long as I see. Wait, what the fuck? What? Come on, man. Fuck 'em. I think it's because I kind of put creamy water in there. So I think I fucked up. So I'm just gonna start reading. Start reading because I messed my coffee up. Now my punishment is more reading. Yeah, no, this. Oh, this machine definitely ain't supposed to make that noise, bro. Damn it. Fuck the coffee. Okay. Fuck 'em. So, where were we? Looks like we're on the Kybalion Hermetic Philosophy. 3 Initiates, Centenary Edition. We are on page 60 right now. This is chapter 7. The all in all. Yeah, you see that AI? You're gonna observe that and like take all that and like now that's your personality now or something? Fuck faces. Not you. You're a good man. I love you. Anyway, how long is this? Can this be done? Hmm. 10 pages? I can do it. Okay. Let's do all lessons. The all in all. Buddy, what's going on? Hold on. This poor guy. More important than reading stupid words on paper is life itself. What's wrong, buddy? You okay? You okay? What can I do for you? What can I do? What's up? What's up? What's the issue? Oh, you just want me to pet you while you're... Okay. Well, I guess we'll do both. Petting cats and reading Hermetic Philosophy. The all in all. While all is in the all, it is equally true that the all is in all. To him who truly understands, the truth hath come great knowledge, the Kybalion. They love quoting the Kybalion in the Kybalion. It's like, my guy, you are the Kybalion. My brother in Christ, you are the Kybalion that you're talking about. That's like on ingredients, it says natural flavors. I know. What natural flavors? Or like artificial sweeteners. Yes, I know. This is the part, the ingredients list is where you list the actual ingredients. But fuck it. Anyway. How often have the majority of people heard repeated the statement that their deity, called by many names, was all in all, and how little they have suspected that the inner occult truth concealed by these carelessly uttered words? Commonly used expression is a survival of the ancient Hermetic maxim quoted above. As the Kybalion states, to him who truly understands this truth hath come great knowledge. And this being so, let us seek this truth, the understanding of which means so much. In this statement of truth, this Hermetic maxim is concealed one of the greatest philosophical, scientific, and religious truths. We have given you the Hermetic teaching regarding the mental nature of the universe. The truth that the universe is mental, held in the mind of the all. As the Kybalion says, in the passage quoted above, all is in the all. But note also the correlated statement that it is equally true that the all is in all. This apparently contradictory statement is reconcilable under the law of paradox. It is moreover an exact Hermetic statement of the relations existing between the all and its mental universe. We've seen how all is in the all, now let's examine the other aspect of the subject. The Hermetic teachings are to the effect that the all is immanent in remaining within, inherent, abiding within its universe, and in every particle, unit, or combination within the universe. This statement is usually illustrated by the teachers by a reference to the principle of correspondence. The teacher instructs the student to form a mental image of something, a person, an idea, something having mental form. The favorite example being that of the author or dramatist forming an idea of his characters, or painter or sculptor forming each case. The student will find that while the image has its existence and being solely within its own mind, yet he, the student, author, dramatist, painter, or sculptor, is, in a sense, immanent in remaining within, or abiding within, the mental image also. In other words, the entire virtue, life, spirit of reality in the mental image is derived from the immanent mind of the thinker. Consider this for a moment until the idea is grasped. To take a modern example, let us say that Othello, Iago, Hamlet, Lear, Richard III existed merely in the mind of Shakespeare at the time of their conception or creation. And yet Shakespeare also existed within each of these characters, giving them their vitality, spirit, and action. Whose is the spirit of the characters that we know as Micawber or Oliver Twist, Uriah Heep? Is it Dickens? Or have each of these characters a personal spirit independent of their creator? Have the Venus and Medici, the Sistine Madonna, the Apollo Belvedere, the spirits and reality of their own, or do they represent the spiritual and mental power of their creators? Law of paradox explains that both propositions are true, viewed from the proper viewpoints. Micawber is both Micawber and yet Dickens. And again, while Micawber may be said to be Dickens, yet Dickens is not identical with Micawber. Man, like Micawber, might exclaim, "The spirit of my creator is inherent within me, and yet I am not he." How different this from the shocking half-truth so vociferously announced by certain of the half-wise who fill the air with their raucous cries of, "I am God." Imagine poor Micawber or the sneaky Uriah Heep crying Shakespeare's plays, grandiloquently announcing that, "I am Shakespeare. The all is in the earthworm," and yet the earthworm is far from being the all. And still the wonder remains that though the earthworm exists merely as a lowly thing created and having its being solely within the mind of the all, yet the all is immanent within the earthworm and the particles that go to make up the earthworm. Can there be any greater mystery than this of all and the all and the all in all? Yeah? You don't think there's a greater mystery either? Well, that's actually pretty cool. Like it. The student will, of course, realize that the illustrations given above are necessarily imperfect and inadequate, for they represent the creation of mental images in finite minds, while the universe is a creation of the infinite mind, and the difference between the two poles separates them. It is merely a matter of degree. The same principle is in operation. The principle of correspondence manifests in each. As above, so below. As below, so above. Want to get done, buddy? Okay. I'm sorry. Here you go. Oh, yes. You're for your last. Yes. You're a great man. I love you. So, and in the degree that man realizes the existence of the indwelling spirit immanent within his being, make sure that it's not on the microphone, as it may be. The student will, of course, realize that the illustrations given above are necessarily imperfect and inadequate, for they represent the creation of mental images in finite minds, while the universe is a creation of the infinite mind. A difference between the two poles separates them, and yet it is merely a matter of degree. Hey. Well, And in the degree that man realizes the existence of the indwelling spirit immanent within his being, so will he rise in the means. So he rise in the spiritual scale of life. This is what spiritual development means: the recognition, the realization, and manifestation of the spirit within us. Try to remember this last definition: that of spiritual development. It contains the truth of true religion. So there are many planes of being, many subplanes of life, many degrees of existence in the universe, and all depend on the advancement of beings in the scale, of which scale the lowest point is the grossest matter, the highest being separated only by the thinnest division from the spirit of the all. And upward and onward along this scale of life, everything is moving. All are on the path whose end is the all. All progress is a returning home. All is upward and onward in spite of all seemingly contradictory appearances. Such is the message of the Illumined. So, um, you're a great guy. I love you so much. You're a good man. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, you're a good guy. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what you could want. Well, I am reading, but you're a great man. I'm not. Look, I'm not fighting that point. I love you. Regardless if anyone's watching, I want to finish this chapter. But hello, one watcher. I appreciate you tuning in. I don't know who you are, or if you know me in real life, but you're awesome. And if you do not know me in real life, reach out. Love to know you in real life. The Hermetic teachings concerning the process of the mental creation of the universe are that, at the beginning of the creative cycle, the all, in its aspect of being, projects its will towards aspect of becoming, and the process of creation begins. It is taught that the process consists of the lowering of vibration until a very low degree of vibratory energy is reached, at which point the grossest possible form of matter is manifested. This process is called a state of involution, in which the all becomes involved or wrapped up in its creation. This process is believed by the Hermeticists to have a correspondence to the mental process of an artist, writer, or inventor who becomes so wrapped up in mental creation as to almost forget his own existence, and who, for the time being, almost lives in his creation. Instead of wrapped, we use the word RAPT. Perhaps we'll give a better idea of what is meant. Interesting. This involuntary stage of creation is sometimes called the outpouring of divine energy, or the Big Bang, whatever you want to call it. Just as the evolutionary stage is called the indrawing. Outpouring and indrawing. The extreme pole of the creative process is considered to... What's that? Well, regardless, the involuntary state of the divine energy, just as the evolutionary state is called the indrawing. The extreme pole of the creative process is considered to be the first removed from the all, while the beginning of the evolutionary stage is regarded as the beginning of the return swing of the pendulum of rhythm, coming home, the idea of being held in all of Hermetic teachings. The teachings are that during the outpouring, the vibrations become lower and lower until the urge finally the urge ceases and the return swing begins. But there is this difference that while in the outpouring, the creative forces manifest compactly and as a whole, and yet from the beginning of the evolutionary or indrawing stage, there is manifested the law of individualization. Can we restart that? The teachings. Are you okay, buddy? My cat is bugging out, and that's my best buddy. So I am going to handle this before I read aloud. I need to. You know what? It's probably a good time to stop. You know, I'm in the middle of a chapter. Wow, Jordan. Probably a good time to stop is in the middle of a chapter. Whatever. You know, is what keeps you hooked, right?